Hello, 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 hello. It's your girl, Miss Ann Little Cole, and I'm coming to you live from my actual laptop. And hopefully, you guys are doing wonderfully well. And I'm going to talk about the reparations rally that occurred earlier this month because there's some things that I really did think about that I think is really important. I first want to commend Tariq Nasheed. I thought he did an excellent job in terms of organizing, in terms of the amount of time that he had to be able to do so. I thought most of the speakers were dynamic. I do think some of them, in my opinion, shouldn't have been there because their ideologies sort of contradicted what the whole purpose of the rally was for. And that is my only criticism of it. But other than that, I really do believe that for the most part, it gave people the it gave people hope that we could finally be able to get our justice claim that our ancestors never got and never received, and how were we are locked into we're locked out of the economic realities that other people who are now not just coming over to this country but being bused over here illegally are taking our benefits and what we're supposed to have. We're being blocked out of job opportunities, being able to open businesses, and to be honest with you, even when it comes to education, we're being locked out. Because even though we'll go to college, we'll even go to high school, but when it comes to trade school and even college, is very expensive. But people based on a certain ethnicity, they'll be able to get scholarships. So everything is already lined out for them. And I'm not speaking about white people, just to let you know. I'm talking about the other people in the colored community. Catch that tea. So these are things that we're rallying for, and I thought tariqnasheed did a great job. So I'm gonna just start with the audio and just stay tuned. Hey, thank you. And if you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Also share this commentary and like it as well. So, for those of you who don't know, Tariq Nasheed is, I'm not going to say a media personality, but I would say that he is a commentator. He is a businessman. He's a hustler in a positive way. He is known for his Hidden Colors series of DVDs. He's also known for doing lectures across the country and even overseas. Also, he started with the Mac Lessons series back in the early 2000s. He was one of the very first podcasters, and he's been on YouTube since 2011. And what he's now famous for, more best known for now, is starting the hashtag Foundational Black Americans, Cut the Check, and also he's an advocate of having foundational Black Americans have their proper justice claim. And for the record, FBA is not the same as ADOS. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. Now, the reparations rally was on November the 5th, and I saw it live. I've been to DC before, so it wouldn't have been a problem with me going, but I wasn't able to go because I wasn't able to stand up there all day. The last time I was in DC, I was 24 years old. There wasn't even a black president yet. I'm now 39. And since I've been through a lot, in the past couple of years, I would say 2 years, like with stress from work and everything. So I definitely couldn't do the stand-in. And after the last month, I really couldn't have made it. But I was there watching it live. Shout out to LVZ channel. His channel, he was the person that was posting it and filming it. And so looking at it, I thought that one of the best speakers there was Marcel Dixon, Connie Collins, the young lady from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I thought that the man who put on the I don't want to say costume, but the reimaging of being a slave, I thought that was very profound. I also liked I can't, oh my God. Oh, Teslin Figaro. She was the last speaker. Very good speaker. I thought Dr. Mayat was good for the most part. And there was another person that spoke. Can't think of it. Boyce Watkins is Boyce Watkins. But it wasn't bad. I mean, it was just Boyce. It is what it is. Nothing against him though. But we all know that's him and Yvette, they don't talk anymore. Their relationship broke down. So it is what it is. Randy Short was good, but what I did like is that he did talk about how, our home is America. And that was very important. I'm going to segue into that because I felt that where the reparations rally sort of the message was kind of a little bit lost in translation. And it's not Tariq's fault. I didn't agree with Professor Smalls. Dr. Smalls. He was a professor at City College. When he made the comment that we are African, but our home is America, but don't forget Africa. And if you could bring African people from the Caribbean, Latin America, um, overseas, like the Hispanics, our numbers would be bigger than the white man's. Now, here's the problem I have with that. We don't need to align ourselves with any other group. We're fine with who we have. He was bringing a Pan African centered ideology at a reparations rally that's focused solely on foundational Black Americans, and that was wrong because now it goes back to Pan Africanism, and the whole purpose of FBA is to delineate from that because Pan Africanism hasn't really worked for foundational Black Americans. It's worked for other groups, it doesn't work for us. And I felt that why do we have to link up with other groups of people in order to not just make our numbers larger, but to be powerful? We don't have to be powerful with them. We could just be powerful who we are with our foundational Black Americans. Now, I am one of the more unique ones because I do have ancestry from Latin America. I do have ancestry from Caribbean. So I'm 75% Caribbean. But at the same token, I'm mostly a foundational Black American. I'm anchored culturally in being a foundational Black American. And if I could tell you, you don't have to link up with other people to be powerful in this movement, that's speaking volumes right then and there. Also, shout out to Pharaoh Speaks because my bro Pharaoh Speaks, he brought up an excellent point when he posted his video, and I think you need to really look at it. It's about reparations. He posted it 2 weeks ago. What he mentioned is that the reparation rally was, was good. It was inspirational. But let's be clear on one thing only. Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore, they did start this movement, okay? In terms of revigorating. Yes, we know, and I do want to say something else too. Baba Kamini, he mentioned in Cobra, and he was like, you gotta basically, give a shout out to Cobra because they're the ones that started this. Now, what hasn't Cobra done? And it's like he brought two people there that were Pan Africanists. You didn't need to bring them there, Tariq. They didn't need to be there. And it's nothing against them, but they're not really pro FBA. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I think Dr. Baba Kameni, I think he's not even FBA, or maybe he's half. So I don't even understand what that was all about. But to throw up in Cobra, and many people was like booing it. If you heard it, it was like boo, and I was like, oh Lord. And then that's when my bro Pharaoh Speaks was like, Yvette and Tone started this movement. At the end of the day, and you gotta give them respect. Because without them, there wouldn't have really been all these other movements coming about. And I had to really keep it real and say, yeah, yeah. Even though I call myself FBA, but it was. They were the first ones to do it. They was talking about this, just particularly Yvette, because I listen to Yvette, I don't listen to Tone. Yvette was talking about this going back to 2016 with the guy, the funky academic, I Irami Umpong Jose, who is Black American from his mom, and his father is from Ghana. And he was be there back in 2016, 2017. I called them the good old days of like YouTube and the channel. And she was really talking about reparations, justice claim, and things of that nature back then. FBA, that came about in 2018, that term. ADOS comes about in 2017. So, yeah, we have to tell the truth about what it is. Now, I grew up hearing the term FBA. And I don't want to go off tangent, but I heard the term FBA. My mother used it, my grandmother used it, and they're from Alabama. And tariqnasheed was raised in Alabama. So when I heard FBA, I was like, oh, my family used that term. So I was like, okay. So it was easy for me to adapt to it because I had grown up hearing it. I never grew up hearing ADOS. But it's all love on both sides, and Pharaoh Speak was saying that I don't want to see the movement of reparations for Black Americans to be turned into something that is just, like a joke, because it's not a celebrity movement. It's a movement that's really ingrained in justice and being able to not just receive the money, but also receive the legal protections that we never received. And that's what my bro was saying. And he mentioned that at the Revolt Summit, Tariq was there, and it's like, how could you got to be a little bit careful because, you know, Diddy owns Revolt. And it's like, you're going around people that, wasn't really a friend to us. And then some of the other people that was speaking, they're kind of questionable. I won't go into the names of who was who. That he said, just listen to the audio. But he brought up excellent points about it. And I was like, yo, well, Pharaoh, you got me thinking. Because I was like, OMG. I really didn't think I was just so in awe of the moment, you know? But if I was to have organized it, and no shade to Tariq at all, I would have said, listen, this is an FBA rally. You got to keep it non Pan Africanist. We can do that in hidden colors, but no, not today. And our people have woken up. A lot of them have. A lot of them have put the banner down as like, oh no, nothing against our brothers and sisters overseas. And there were a lot of people who were Black and non FBA that were there supporting. I want to make that clear. And that was a great thing, because I support them in their justice claim to get monies from the Queen. Well, she's no longer here, but from the Kingdom of Great Britain. I'm all for it, 100%. It should be that way as well. And so for me, I really thought that the reparations rally was a great start. But now Tariq is doing the conference in Dallas, FBA conference in Dallas for businesses. And I'm like, this was the beginning to do the work. And that's the one thing about Yvette and Tone. I know from Yvette's perspective, she's still doing the work for ADOS. And so that's the only thing. Like, I do think that we might need chapters for FBA. We might because we can rally, we can talk online all day, but I gotta agree with my bro Sparrow Speaks. We really gotta do the work to get this done. And I gotta keep it real. I think in the end, I think as far as the org and the movement, I think ADOS is gonna stand at the end of the day. This is why I'm gonna call it the reparations rally, FBA reparations rally pros and cons, because At the end of the day, I feel as though I just don't want this to be like a 1 day event. I want us to still keep it going. And I feel that, oh, and they had an after party at the, which I think was cool. No shade to that. But only thing is that with Yvette, she will at least, carry over the work. And I think that's the Aries in her too. I think it's the Aries in her to keep things going and keep things moving. So, I want both to win. And I just want, particularly for FBA, I mean, I want us to basically not drop the ball. Like, I'm not dropping the ball at all. I've been talking about reparations. I've been talking about it on my lives. I really want us to be able to collectively do the work and to be serious about the work, which is, in this case, reparations for the children and for those who are descendants of chattel slavery in the United States of America, who never received the proper justice claim after 1865 when our ancestors were emancipated from chattel slavery in this country and ended up being thrusted into Jim Crow after the 1877 compromise and didn't have any legal protection because President Hayes compromised us and our safety and our protection and our right to existence so that he could win the electoral votes to be president. That is the real tea as to why our ancestors suffered both racially, politically, economically, socially, psychologically, and it trickled down to us as their descendants suffering through it and being locked out of every opportunity just because we are FBA or if we identify as ADOS because we're ADOS. And with that being said, your homegirl signing off. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't, please subscribe to my channel, share, hit the notification bell, like, comment, and I will talk to you soon. Later. Thanks for listening.